and welcome back to this video installment of the Immersive Worlds Handbook. And this chapter is called the Research Break, and it's fairly unique for its focus on developing methods of research that you can apply in your design spaces. In the book, you'll find it between chapters 5 and 6. And the inspiration for this chapter really is the idea of looking at how can you use various forms of research to design more innovative spaces. What are some of the techniques that you can use to create creative spaces, and what are some ways that designers and design teams may develop new and exciting immersive spaces. And what's interesting when you look in the world of design, and many of you probably know some of these resources, but you can find some incredibly handy tools that allow you to do things like brainstorming and developing new concepts for spaces. I've experienced some of these firsthand when I've done consulting stints with various design firms, and I've really had an opportunity to see how designers work at the most basic level, and then through all the variations and ways that they develop their creative skills over time, eventually produce exciting immersive spaces. This is one example of a tool that you can use that is not connected to the book, but it's something that I personally am inspired by. And this is the firm IDEO, and they created these method cards, and you basically have the opportunity as a designer to go through these various cards and to work with concepts ranging from social network mapping to prototyping, a day in the life, conceptual landscapes, and so forth. And these are really cool devices that you can use to get inspired. So that's some of the inspiration as to why I wanted to really have what I call this research break. As far as some of the specific concepts that I'll be dealing with in the chapter, I'll cover issues ranging from mood reassociation or developing a mood that can fit a space. I'll talk about the use of games, ranging from board games to video games. The development of manifestos, which is something that I've encountered in my study of particular art movements and aesthetics. The idea of defining and operationalizing your space, which is the way of basically stating exactly what you're trying to do for that guest in that space. Using various methods of research, which is something close to my heart as a cultural anthropologist. Forms of data collection, something we call ethnography, which is a way of understanding people in a culture and relating that understanding back to other people who maybe haven't visited that culture. A few more concepts from the world of art, the surrealist concept of automatic writing, the exquisite corpse, which is the idea of basically doing a design where you take a piece of paper, fold it in 3 or 4 places or so, and then on the first part of the sheet, a person might draw the head of a body, next the torso, and then finally the legs. And 3 different people ideally would do this, and then you would unfold the drawing and see this example of what the surrealists call the exquisite corpse. So some of these are examples that you could use by yourself, that you could use with the design team, and allow you really to kind of get some of those creative juices going. I also talk about budget issues, thinking outside the box, developing mood boards, and there'll be an interview with Dave Gottwald, who is a graphic designer at the Oakland Museum of California, and someone that I've met through my many years of studying theme parks and theming, and he developed a master's thesis as a graphic designer called Themerica, and he really went literally all over the world and looked at theme parks and casinos and used this as a way of inspiring himself as a graphic designer and giving viewers insights about how he then changed as a designer because of the spaces that he observed in terms of theme parks and casinos and others. And in his particular interview for the research break, he's talking about the mood board. And the mood board is something that's quite exciting, that allows a designer to very quickly, efficiently, and graphically represent the type of space that they're trying to design. So if you were going to design a tropical paradise, you might go online or go through magazines and books and cut out images, and some of these could even be 3-dimensional, as he'll talk about, and basically paste these on a large board, and then your entire design team can look at that board and have a sense maybe of some of the inspirations that might make it or might not make it into the final design of that hypothetical tropical themed space. I talk about additionally story brainstorming, world building, the idea of developing or using storyboards, different trends that you might encounter, the charrette, which is a classic design interactive workshop, and also the idea of various creative zones that could be explored by designers. So I think you'll find this to be a unique chapter, and one hopefully that you'll enjoy and perhaps find some inspiration in terms of your own design approaches. Thanks, and see you in the next installment.